All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I have Pro Tools pulled up here. It's actually my birthday, and I was looking at the videos I put out recently. By the way, make sure you tell me if you can hear me or not. I'm trying something different on the stream, so let me know if this sounds good, if it looks good. I'll pull up Pro Tools in a second. We can check that. But I was looking at the stuff I'd put out recently, and I realized I hadn't done a live in a really long time. And one of the ones that popped up was actually the one I did on my birthday. So I don't know. Let's make this a tradition if we like it. Who knows? But let me know. Can you hear me? I'm going to pull up Pro Tools and then we'll go. Not sure if you can hear the mic while Pro Tools is going, but let me know. So these are actually songs that were viewers submitted. So on a few videos, I asked you guys to fill out forms if you were interested in having us record your songs, just like we did on the 15-minute video. On these, we spent a little bit more time, but these are people who watched the video's songs, and it was really fun to dive in. I've got the charts right here. We can talk about the process and whatever, but let me know if you guys can hear Pro Tools okay, and if you can hear me okay. I see there's a few people in here, 9 of you. How's it going, everybody? Nick said, first time you're able to catch a live. Dude, that's awesome. Hopefully I should do more of these. I had to change the setup here, so the way I'm doing this is different than I had in the past, but hopefully it still works just the same. And if all is well, you can see Pro Tools, you can see my face, you can hear me, and you can hear Pro Tools. The song actually came with a wicked sax solo. Just check this transition. So right now, people are saying happy birthday. Thank you. I am actually 36. And it's a couple days after my birthday because I wanted to take my birthday off. Don't hold it against me. So this is raw. I mean, there's some plugins on here, but I mean, most of these are just general EQ moves. Most of them, when I put a plugin on something, it's because I want a high pass on here. And the way Pro Tools works with an HDX system, if you want any plugin on, the first one has to be HDX. It has to be like a DSP plugin. So the engine starts working and then you can put whatever after it. So I put basically these EQs on everything. So if I want to put something after it, I can, but really most of them are just high pass filters. On the kick, there's probably some more going on. Yeah. Snare. Oh, actually nothing there. I do have some buses going to different room mics, but we tried some different things. I still have all the Soyuz mics, which were fantastic all across the board. We used them on acoustics. I used the 013 tubes on overheads, and just listen to these things. I mean, those things, that sounds awesome to me. I had an R88 that was pretty far from the kit. If I goose the rooms, you'll see just how large this thing feels. It's kind of nuts. I mean, that's objectively too loud for an overhead, but man, those things, they take EQ so well. Like, for example, if I want to push the top end on these things, which I don't think it needs it, but just to show, because these are tube mics. I mean, you can just go forever with the top end on those things. That's 20 dB. I mean, that's a lot, and it is not broken down. I don't think it needs it necessarily, but if you want to get those puppies bright, they will get bright. So there's going to be more detail. Let me switch cameras here. There's going to be more detailed videos coming about the process of recording this, because we did, I think, 5 songs. And they were all, like I said, your guys' submitted songs. We had a bunch, and we picked the few that we thought that we really connected with. And this was one of them. This was kind of had like a Huey Lewis or like a Supertramp vibe. And it was a lot of fun to mess with. And having everybody in the room all at once bouncing ideas. Obviously, it was different because the artist wasn't here. In some cases, they did send like their scratch tracks. Like this guy, who was this one? I've got the charts over here. So this song is called Love is for Suckers, and the songwriter's name is Ray Sharp. Super cool song, really cool chord choices. If you're curious, this is the chart. Yeah, this note was kind of important. F the numbers on this one for sure. Sometimes charts just don't make sense to write in numbers, especially when you have that amount of like chord inversions going on. Oh, comments are coming in. I am not paying attention. Happy birthday. Thank you. A lot of people saying happy birthday. Hey, appreciate that. Getting older, so at least there's some good coming out of it, right? Your videos made me lust after those Soyuz mics, which I will never be able to obtain. Honestly, man, they're not that expensive. I mean, they have a really cool lineup, and the O13s, I think for the pair are like $2,700, but you can buy the FET versions on their own, and those things sound really good. We used them on acoustic in a lot of places. Actually, I used yesterday on a session that was, it was a different session than what I'm going to show you. I actually can't pull the stuff up I did yesterday because it's another producer's client. But on that one, we actually took one of the O13 FETs that I had extra laying around. We put it on the hi-hat because I'm never satisfied with a hi-hat. So like, why not? Let's put a FET on there. But I think those are like $6.99. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. I mean, for the pair, they're $13.99, but I know you can buy, at least you used to be able to. Yeah, a single one, $6.99. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm not trying to sell them. I'm not making anything if you go and buy one right now, unless you went through an affiliate link, but yeah, I mean, to me, there are more expensive mics, there are cheaper mics out there, but they're so vibey, and that's why I reach for them. Have you ditched Avid yet? No, I have not ditched. Yeah, that video got a little bit more attention than I anticipated. Well, sorry, I'm trying to stay on top of the comments coming in. I still haven't figured out the live streaming thing. So you guys see why I edit my videos so hard, because I just stop talking. But have I ditched Avid? I have not, but what I have done is I have started to make plans as far as maybe switching out an interface that would allow me to then do that eventually. The way it works, I'm locked in. I'm not locked in. I have what I have right now, and I'm safe with Pro Tools for at least a year. I know that much. It looked like after that video, my renew button came back, which is cool. It looked like the price of Pro Tools Studio dropped, which is cool. I have no idea if that was connected to me or not. I can't imagine it would have been. So honestly, like, that's a step in the right direction, but I don't want to badmouth anybody, and I don't think there's a perfect company out there ever. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hot tamale to talk about. But no, I have not ditched Avid. I am looking at other options to use in conjunction alongside. And if I can get something that I really start to feel comfortable with, a transition may happen. I'm not going to say it won't. We'll see. But I have been talking to a few different companies. There's one situation where someone might actually send a piece of equipment that would make for a good kind of bridge, because I can still use my HDX system as well as anything else that I might want. I'm hoping that works out. I can't talk about it yet, but that would be a really interesting way to do this. You're running a Burl B80 Dante into Reaper, and it's awesome. Actually, the thing I was looking for was switching my Burls over to be Dante, and I already have the mothership. So let me know this. I'm struggling to find Dante stuff, because that is where I was headed with all of this. This was supposed to be an editing video, and we're talking about everything besides editing. So, but I mean, keep the questions coming. I'm loving this back and forth. But okay, so you have a B80 and you're running Dante. I need to switch my card, because right now I have the DigiLink card on mine. I am wanting to switch to Dante on the Burls, but I can't find much Dante gear right now. I've heard there's a shortage, and that it doesn't really have anything to do with production. It's more the company is not putting out cards, and they're looking at like a revision 3 for Dante. I don't know. I've talked to a few different people, and that's what I've been told. But did you purchase your mothership with the Dante card, or was that something you added later? I would be interested to know that, because that exactly what you're talking about is kind of what I'm looking at, oddly enough. Let's get back to Pro Tools. And this, we had a lot of different songs going on. Let's actually switch here. There was one that was like a Dave Matthews vibe. I spoke with Dan at Burl, and they're waiting on the Brooklyn 3 chips. Okay. China's not allowing the chips to be produced. I didn't know that part. That's interesting. But you know Dan at Burl. That's amazing. Ask him for me if he's got another Dante chip just sitting around somewhere, because I would love to get my hands on one. Because that's, if I'm switching anything, the Burls will have to be pulled out of my cold dead hands. Those are coming with me to whatever I go with. So I'm not making any switches until I know I've got that covered. Because I could get rid of other preamps if I have to. I can get rid of ADAT, you know, the things that I'm kind of chaining off of what I already have. But the Burls, that's a deal breaker for me. So if I can't figure that out, I'm staying in my current situation. Happy birthday. Thank you. Feeling a little old. So this one was pretty cool. I believe, just based on our email, and I might be wrong about this. Artist is named Sam. Song is called Slow Down. I think he's from South Africa, because when I went to his artist page and checked out some of his other stuff, one of the towns he said he lived in seemed like it was in South Africa. So we did songs from people all over the world, and I could be wrong on that. So Sam, if you are watching, please correct me on that. But still, really cool kind of Dave Matthews vibe. Check this thing out. Such good players. Can you guys hear me if I talk while Pro Tools is playing? I'm curious about that. Asada. How old can you be? I'm 36. Let me know if you can hear me talk while Pro Tools is playing. I'm curious. I've been talking while that's playing. Can you guys hear me while Pro Tools is playing, or does that just mess up the whole darn thing? Sweet. Well, this just makes the whole process way easier. I don't have to stop that. How old can you be? I'm 36, and it feels old. The piano player on this session was a monster. So good. And I'm using the Gentleman. It sits in a mix so well. I know Nords are so popular, and having like an actual grand in a studio is also something, but when you don't know what you're going to be doing and you're running all these different types of sessions, like having something like Complete, and I can pull up any one of 1,000 different piano sounds and they all sound good. I mean, that to me is more useful. The upkeep on a grand is pretty expensive, and I do have an upright here for those junky sounds, but I don't know. I think having something like this helps a lot. You do get the side eye every once in a while when you say you don't have a grand in the studio, but I just think it sounds so good. Let's see where they kick in. Oh, it's coming up here. It's instrumental for right now. Chill Baby's asking if this is instrumental. By the way, Chill Baby, are you who I think you are? Did I mix one of your songs? Killer songwriter. Chill Baby 5000. I'm pretty sure I know you. Okay. But these are not, they're currently instrumental and they're currently raw. But these are viewer submitted songs. they're viewer submitted songs, and we're eventually getting the vocal back from the artist. This is my first dive into them since the session that we had with everybody. So I'm kind of listening to these for the first time since the session, which was 2 days ago. There was a ton of filming. There's going to be a lot of videos coming out, so stay tuned for those, because it'll show the process of the demos that we got, like how we chart them, what we're looking at on the charts, which this is the chart for this song. Where are we? The jam section. This one was pretty simple. It was more about vibe. I mean, we were basically going from an E minor to a C the whole time, but just kind of had that Dave Matthews thing going. Yes, I am, and yes, you did. Awesome. It's been a while. Did you ever release that song? I'm curious. Love the tremolo on that guitar. The guitar was actually was our main guitar player for this. One of the guitar players. He was on acoustic for this one. So this one, I'm actually using Miko, which is fantastic. As much as I love miking a cab, and the other ones are all mic'd. I had 2 mics on a Friday Audio cab, which was awesome for the session, as well as a room mic for that cab. But not knowing how I wanted textures to play, I deliberately took that second guitar into a load box, and I went into something like Miko, because I could reamp through a cab later if I want to, or I could just use this. And it feels like miking a cab, because I can move all these things around wherever I want to. I haven't messed with this much. It's just kind of, I pull up a V30 because I love V30s, and it just did the thing, so I left it. And I've used it on so many sessions, so I feel bad not like giving a tutorial here, but it is one of those things where I couldn't tell you how to use it because I haven't delved into it, but it sounds freaking great, and it paired perfect with the rest of the stuff. So you're asking, how can you submit a song? There's a couple videos where I actually have a link in the description. I think if you look at any one of my recent videos, I have a link that says if you want us to do your songs, and we are planning to do this again, because part of the hard part about this is picking up a sponsor to cover the cost of players for these. Let me switch to the talking. The hard part is finding money to do this, because all these videos are basically me. And I mean, those of you who watch the channel, you know, only recently have I started picking up sponsors. Some of them have just been like equipment. Most of them have been like, here's a product. If you like it, make a video. And I marked those as paid promotions because you should know when that happens. But there's only been a handful that have actually been like sponsorship money. Here's an ad spot type of videos. And those help so much, especially in these videos that have session players, because the cost to do that, just the cost in the room, without me getting paid, is over $1,000. So, or right at 1,000. I would have to look at it, but the player cost in the room is about $1,000, or a little more. So obviously ad revenue helps for something like that. When I asked for submissions, I asked, are you guys willing to pay anything? If so, what is that? That goes a long way in helping to pay those players. And then we also have, for that video coming up, there's a Sweetwater sponsorship, which was fantastic because it helps pay the players. And then I'll get paid through ad revenue or so. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But if that model works and if you guys keep submitting songs, then we're going to keep doing this because it was a blast. And yeah, it was a whole lot of fun. We had a lot. It was different than a normal session, obviously, because the artist isn't here and you're not vibing that way. But we definitely see ways we can make the whole process better and kind of give artists who wouldn't have otherwise a chance to get their stuff into a studio with session players. Doing it like this kind of separates that financial burden from the artist. And if I can find a sustainable way to do it, I want to continue to do it. So all that rant aside, if you do want to submit, I'll put a link in this somehow eventually. But if you go to any one of my other videos, I do have a place that you can submit your songs. Actually, I can toss it in the chat, I think, real quick. Maybe. Can I? I'll figure out a way to do that. Wait, here's the form. Either way, go to one of my other videos. And what does it say? Actually, I say go to my video. I'm just going to pop it in. Here we go. And posting it in the chat. Boom. So that form will have you fill out a few different things, who you are, what your contact information, and link to a demo of the song. From that big list, we listen and we pick. And I can't guarantee when the next one's going to happen, but we are doing another one for sure because it was fun. Hello from Van Wert, Ohio. Hey, how far are you from Indianapolis? That's awesome. I've got Wave IRs I've been using for almost 20 years now. Lucky I was able to find a plugin that would load them. Yeah, it's expensive to hire session players. It definitely is. It's very nice. It'd be cool with a vocal over it. Is it a female? I hear a female. On this one, it's actually a male. Name is Sam. Sam Jam. What? Let me see what the band's name is, actually. Sam, I cannot pronounce the name, the last name. Sam Jam. If he's got stuff on SoundCloud, and it's actually kind of cool, it's just Sam Jam on SoundCloud. Go check him out. If I find the about, and I'm pretty sure they're from South Africa, but I could be wrong about that. But let's see what else we got here. But that one was a lot of fun because it just had kind of that neat Dave Matthews vibe, and we could just kind of chill and record. The fun thing about doing these and the ones that you guys submitted was different people from all different parts of the world, and they were very different sounds. And it was fun. I mean, obviously we are going to put like a sonic stamp on there because we are musicians, and it just, you kind of put your own thing on there. As much as we'll try to get out of the way and be invisible for the process, like it's going to happen. I mean, the guitar player Caleb is going to sound like Caleb. Luke on drums is going to sound like Luke. And actually for one song, we switched drummers because one of the players we used as a floater to kind of change things up because he's proficient on guitar, drums, keys. I mean, I think in this one he just played guitar and drums, but that dude, he was actually here for a session yesterday as well and played literally everything in the room. And he's fantastic at it. I wish I had those files to show you, but I cannot show you those. Okay, this one's cool. This one's real chill. Songwriter's name, let me switch to Pro Tools here. Sorry if I mispronounced this. Songwriter's name is Ite Rutnik. I'm not sure where he's from. Somewhere in Europe, I'm assuming. All these are assumptions. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but Ite wrote a killer song. It's called Lose You. Here's the chart. This one was just real moody, and we had a blast. Amazing vocalist. I cannot wait to get his vocals on this because he is super good. I'm actually going to switch views if you guys, for those who want to see the chart a little clearer. Oh, here we go. So you can see we are coming up on the chorus. Pretty simple. Really cool. I cannot wait to get his voice. Can't wait to get his voice on that. That's a fun song. I mean, it's simple, but I think the cool pieces are going to come with his voice. And we wanted to stay out of the way because his demo just kind of floored us. Real simple recording of him and an acoustic guitar, and it was nuts. And we knew pretty quick that was one that we wanted to put on the short list to do. Just 30 miles east of Fort Wayne. Oh, you're closer to Sweetwater than I am. Where can we hear some of your work? My work would be, there's a Spotify playlist. Let me see if I can find it and post it in the chat real quick. So there's a Spotify playlist. You can also go to my my studio's website if you want. Whisper Studios. It's whisper-studios.com. For the one person asking to hear my work, I'm trying to see if I can find a Spotify playlist and pop it in there. Yeah, it's not letting me. Too much going on the old computer right now. But if you go to... Posting it in the chat. Whisper-Studios, typing with one hand like an old man. So whisper-studios.com, there's sound examples up there, and links to a Spotify playlist that has a bunch of different stuff. It's always changing. Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. I shot you a tune. If you want the stems, let me know. Sweet. I'll definitely check that out. Do you ever mix reviews or critiques? Mix reviews. Oh, do mix reviews. The text is so small. Do you ever do mix reviews? I've thought about doing them on the channel. There's an issue of copyright that I'm still figuring out. Honestly, I'm not that big of a channel. I'm learning as I go here. and doing critiques seems like it can get harsh pretty quick. But yeah, awesome transition out of the chorus. Yeah, dude, those musicians are fantastic. Jeffro, an Avid thumb. Are you from Avid or just have an Avid thumb? Check it out now. Curious what you think of the mix. I don't really have a good way to play it right now. And not knowing exactly what that is, I probably won't play it on stream, but I will definitely check it out later. I can promise you that. Let's see what other songs we got here. Surrender. This one's not done. So, Surrender. This was songwriters Thomas or Tomas, I'm not really sure how to say it, Vargas. Incredible demo. To the point where I sent him a message like, are you sure you want us to do this? Because this already sounds great. Had like a Killers vibe, and it was just really cool. I'm going to layer a lot more guitars on this. But it got to the point we just wanted to finish the rhythm section and move on. Because it was stuff I could do after the fact, and I haven't put more guitars on this yet, but it is begging for it. But just to show you where it's at now. It's just a jam. The chorus is something. I've been pulling up this link that you sent me. Let me just make sure. What else going on here? So maybe this is going to turn into a mixed critique. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay. Sounds like something I can play. Let's see. So somebody sent a mix to pull up. Never done this, especially not in real time. So let's see what happens here. So this is Chris Wagner. So in Pro Tools, I have a line called Spotify that should play whatever comes through the system. So let's put that to the test. Yeah, I saw the reference. Very Metallica. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So for anybody listening, now this has turned into listening to somebody else's mix on here. Chris Wagner wanted me to pull this up and just, I guess, give a quick critique. This is not something I did. So currently using the TF39 into UA6176 into Tube Tech. Then is that the... Okay. Who is the band? Yeah. Who's the band? So it sounds just a little top heavy to me. I mean, all this is taste, right? I mean, critiques, you can only look like a douche when you do this. Are those, I'm curious to hear what you did on those drums. Are those drums real? Because the kick sounds cool, but it sounds a little separated from the kit. Yeah. Okay. When those kicks do hit, it pumps like almost immediately, especially on the sides, which is a little weird. And I don't know how much of that is getting digitally compressed. But it would be interesting to take a look and see exactly what's going on. The guitars, I feel like there's like I'm missing something in like the 2 to 500 range. Those kind of low mids that would give like that beef and girth here, which I think those like a heavy guitar just needs to push through. Because right now everything's sitting on like the upper side of that mix where the guitars are bright. The vocals are bright and not badly so. Like this isn't like a terrible mix or anything, but if we're going from a critique standpoint, we're going to pick it apart, I suppose. So my only concern is now that stuff is going to start to fight for that vocal. I saw your reference was Inner Sandman, and I can totally hear it. And anytime I get a reference like that, like if it's me mixing something and I get a reference that's that old, and I say that with care because that was something I grew up listening to. So don't fault me there. But it was, I always try to look at it on how to modernize it. And from the drums, they sound modern. The kick is it has that kind of out in space vibe, which I think with program, and correct me if I'm wrong, if these are program drums, that's fine. But something that can happen with program drums is they sound like they're off in space by themselves. And these other things can't match what they sound like. And normally that's what can give away that style of production, like doing real guitars and real basses and real everything else and sampled drums. You can kind of back yourself into a corner quick because the drums sound so polished or so clean or so like quote unquote perfect. There is no perfect, but in the context of a mix, they can really start to rub against each other. I'm curious. I wonder if I can just push this into my Neve and see what it sounds like. I think I can, actually. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Nope, not that way. Not that way. This way. Okay. So now that's going through my Neve master bus processor. I'd be curious. This is messing with my brain right now. And if I want to stop the music, I'm pressing spacebar, which is starting what's in Pro Tools. So right now what I have, I'm listening to someone else's mix. This is Chris Wagner. He just sent this in here for a little critique, and I'm just curious. So I pushed it through. I'm running it through my Neve master bus processor, and I'm just doing some EQing. But I'm curious what happens in the low mids here.
You
Where's that hit? I did it again. Yeah, I think for me, it's just a little on the bright side. But that, I mean, that's all completely subjective because it totally depends what market you want to hit, right? And what you're trying to do. So I missed a lot of little thing here. Blended samples. Okay. Good compression on the vocals, though. Yeah, I think they could sit a little further up in the mix for me. I'll shoot you this time. Sonically, the hose you're up was so well done. Not bright or over compressed. Very dark yet up front. Yeah, that's kind of my. That's what I love, a mix that's a little darker on that side. Like, especially, there's so much to be had in those low mids that I think you can. I mean, the information's there. Just pulling it up, it just seems like it just adds so much girth. I mean, obviously, I'm doing that to an MP3. Well, it's a wave, but probably digitally compressed through Dropbox and then ran through this in a really weird way. But just adding those things, I added a little bit of stereo separation. There was on the Neve kind of a bump in the high mids, and then I'm widening the high mids, as well as like I have the blue silk on the Neve. Which just adds that bottom girth. So I think that's the main thing here. Don't let those guitars get too bright. It's easy, even as a guitar player, I pump guitars too hot and too bright sometimes. And going back and really listening to my favorite records, those guitars were dark a lot of the time. And it was the bass marriage between those guitars and the bass that like made that so ballsy, I guess is the right word here. But if we get those things too razor sharp, too gainy, and then disregard the low end of those guitars, they can seem really disjunct from the guitars because the thing's not pumping together. Depending how you've done your compression on the master bus, it can go a little weird on the sides. Are you running it through the Portico? Yes, I did. And then when I turned it off, you could notice the difference. So here it is without the Portico, and then I'll push it in. B2, Portico. Without, good. Without, not a good way to do a critique. Because I think I'm in Pro Tools every time I want to hit the space bar. Love the sound of a smashed room mic blended in. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to actually know what's going on because I'm just going off of a bounce here. But smashed room mics. One thing I love to do is pop a distressor on a room mic that's far. And this thing is just obliterated too. Without the distressor, with only annoying thing about using DM20s, you got to position them so well on toms or they will obliterate that hi-hat sound and just make it come so far forward. Oxford It is a heavy lifting plug for sure, but it does a great job on toms. Here we go. I wonder if I've got an issue here. Doesn't look like it. Oh. Try some capitator on the drums. Oh, I've got that ready to go, man. Here we go. And some parallel compression. Let's turn them all on. Why not? I was trying to just kind of stay raw, but you know what? Let's have some fun. I always keep a decapitator and parallel version, and these are fresh off of tracking. These are not mixed, but why not? Let's screw with it. Drums are so much fun, especially when they're raw. The temptation is always just to leave it, man. How long we been going here? That's a lot of people. Got a lot of people in here just for chilling. And again, what we're listening to is viewer submitted stuff. This is your guys' songs. I put a link in the chat if you want to get in for the next one. We did a lot of cool songs from people all over the world, like a stack of charts here. And I only showed a few of them here on the stream, but there are a lot of really cool artists out there. And I mean, you guys who watch, you write really, really good stuff. It was hard to pick from the list and know what we were going to do because there were different songs that provided different challenges. Some of them were kind of daunting because they were already so good. But this was just a chance to kind of bring in session players, play on your guys' stuff, and just have fun in a different way because they're songs from you guys instead of doing like a normal session. So it's a totally different way to look at a session from my standpoint. And the guys had a blast. It was a really interesting way to make music for you guys who wrote it. So I encourage, if I pop that link back up, which I'm sure I will in an upcoming video, please submit your stuff because we definitely are going to do this again. for me, it's just a matter of securing funds for it. I normally back everything that happens on the channel. It's just been recently that I've started to pick up sponsors. So as long as the money's there, I'm going to bring those guys in because they should be paid for what they're doing. I'm not worried necessarily if I don't get paid for a session like that, but they need to be paid because that's their job. They play, they tour, they make money playing music, so they need to be paid. So having sponsorships for stuff like that really takes the burden off of me and allows me to kind of bring guys like that in to work on songs for you guys. So when you see that happen, go ahead and submit your stuff. I think that's about it for the day. I just wanted to pop on here since it was my birthday. Who knows? I might make this a tradition. Next time I'll be on a live stream, I'll probably be 37. Hopefully not. I will try to do these more. I have fun doing this. If you guys like these, please let me know. Hit the like button. Send a comment down there. And stay tuned for the videos that are coming up for these because I filmed for the entire day doing 5 songs like this, and you can see the process of like how we created them rather than just listening to it this way. But I wanted to show this here just so you guys knew. Anyway, guys, take it easy. I'm Resident Loser Jeremy, and I'll see you later.